Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Sunday show. This is Gashi Skyman. The dust has finally settled, and now a number of the delegates who accompanied Raila Amolo Odinga to Addis Ababa have arrived in the country. In this video, I want us to look at just two things, and they are going to form the basis of our analysis. Number one, I want us to look at the losers in Raila's election without actually considering Raila as a loser. I also want us to look at just four implications of what this means to our politics, because our politics will never be the same again going forward. The greatest loser, ladies and gentlemen, is William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto had banked on Raila Amolo Odinga's winning the African Union chairperson position such that he could inherit the Raila support basis like Luo Nyanza, the Coast, Nairobi, and the Western. And now with this loss, having invested a lot of money, having invested a lot of time, having actually given everything to support Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto must be feeling the pain, and the consequences to him will be disastrous. What he is going to face, I'm telling you, he needs to go to the drawing board and come up with new ways of dealing with Raila Amolo Odinga, and he has to negotiate with Raila Amolo Odinga. The second loser is Mudavadi. Mudavadi had banked also on Raila's winning such that he could have a big say in the Mulebe nation politics. Remember, Raila Amolo Odinga has the greatest following in the Mulebe nation. And if he went to the African Union, because if you ask me, Raila was actually being sent to Addis Ababa to retire. In fact, it's like he was going for a political exile. That was the plan that the government had, that Raila goes for exile and he works in Addis Ababa, and Mudavadi and Ruto could now control the politics of the Mulebe nation. So he is a great loser. Then there is Babu Owino. Babu Owino's star has been rising, and one thing I know, Babu Owino was waiting for Raila Amolo Odinga to win the chairmanship such that he could actually come up with his true strategy. But one thing I know about Babu Owino has a lot of respect for Raila Amolo Odinga, and he cannot actually contradict him. In fact, if Raila had won, Babu Owino could have easily become the leader of ODM. He could have easily run away with ODM party. But now, because Raila is back, Raila is expected to come and take over the ODM party. Remember, he had relinquished the position, and he is now coming back and take the party. The other person is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is going to lose because he also expected to gain some following. The fact that he had supported Raila Amolo Odinga 3 times, he could only expect that the supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga are going to reward him because Kalonzo was actually banking on Raila. Then there is Matiang'i. Matiang'i expected to have the following of the Kisii Omogusi nation, which in most cases you see some of them are in Jubilee, others are in William Samoei Ruto's UDA party, others are in Raila Amolo Odinga's party. But when you look at them, most of them have been supporting Raila Amolo Odinga. Now that Raila is coming back, then Fred Okengo Matiang'i also need to go to the drawing board, re-strategize and re-energize to know how he's going to handle and actually bring the Omogusi nation on his side. So what are the implications, ladies and gentlemen, about Raila's loss? Number one is that Ruto's fate is sealed. In fact, now that the issue of William Samoei Ruto becoming a one-term president is now a reality, because you see, with the mountain gone and the possibility of also Raila being on the ballot, don't be surprised if Raila becomes a presidential candidate in 2027, then it means that William Samoei Ruto cannot win with a handful of Rift Valley supporters. Number two, in my view, is that the broad-based government is in jeopardy. The broad-based government can easily crumble. No, Raila is likely to spring a surprise, and he can lead a stampede where in 2026 he can force his experts to resign en masse, and this one can also affect others. And William Samoei Ruto could be left with a shell of a government. And because Raila wants to reinvent himself, and because he's very good at doing this, he must do it dramatically. And he must do it to win the hearts and the minds of Kenyans. If he does this, what is going to happen is that he's likely to have a following, a huge following. Especially if he is planning to vie for the presidency, he is likely to actually interfere with the broad-based government. Something else is that now with the court ruling that Azimio is the majority party, what is likely to see is that Azimio party is likely to be revamped. Azimio party or coalition is likely to resurrect. And they are going to demand the position of the leader of the majority. But if he's going to work with William Samoei Ruto, I'm sure Raila Amolo Odinga is going to demand the position of the Speaker of the National Assembly. So the fate of Wetangula could also be easily sealed, and that we could be actually having the last days of Moses Masika Wetangula as the Speaker of the National Assembly. Because if William Samoei Ruto wants to appease Raila Amolo Odinga, he must give him high stakes. His stakes must be high in the government. Otherwise, as things are, if William Samoei Ruto wants to work with Raila Amolo Odinga, then he has to give him influential position. Something else that is will come out of this is that the mountain and the lake are likely to drift apart. I saw a number of the Mlima Nation celebrating. I saw it in Nyeri, I saw it in Karatina, I saw it in Thika, I saw it in Kiambu. And the Kikuyu seems to be very, very happy. On the other hand, the Luo Nation was not happy and was not celebrating. In fact, their heads were down. And this one may make the two communities to always be on the opposing side. You know, what Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had done, he had managed to bring these two communities that have always actually gone on opposite directions since Jomo Kenyatta's days. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had managed to bring the two communities very, very close. Very, very close. But now, with the loss of the African Union position and the mountain celebrating, then the lake is likely to move away from the mountain. And the mountain is also likely to drift away from the lake. Then, this also complicates the 2027 general elections. It is now more complicated than ever before. You know, initially we knew the people who are expecting the ballot, maybe Kalonzo and William Samoei Ruto, or Kalonzo, William Samoei Ruto and Matiang'i. Now, ODM is already saying that they must have a presidential candidate. Then, who is this presidential candidate? And that's why I'm saying it is going to complicate the 2027 general elections. And William Samoei Ruto could also work with Raila Amolo Odinga and give Gladys Wanga as a running mate. This will also complicate ODM. Then, when I look at what actually transpired, I can only say that everything work with there must be a reason why things works this way. Who knows that Raila could also be on the ballot and hopefully win. Though, if I were asked, I would ask, I advise Raila Amolo Odinga to take a sabbatical leave. Take about 1 year. The whole of this year, he should rest. And if he has to come up with something, let it be on 2026. Maybe support Matiang'i or Kalonzo. Because if we support William Samoei Ruto, it is not going to work for him. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. Please like the video, comment, share, and maybe you can watch this car here, KW, that is being sold at only Kenya shilling 320. I'll leave my number there. You can call me and maybe you can try to sell the car. Bye-bye. So guys, this is KAW Toyota. Na actually ni auto and we are selling it at 320. Tutapeana namba zetu pale, a quick sale by the way, kwa hivyo mfanya haraka tupigie. Hii is a very nice car as you can see, and karibuni.